Got the good vibe, got the 1942 pouring in my cup. In the session real loud, good gas, yeah, you know we about to roll it up. Bring the bottles to the session, big tab, go ahead and just live it up. Get lit one night, after that, we can go ahead.
I want to first and foremost want to thank God.
You sound choppy, fam.
I'm choppy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I gave you some better.
Okay. Well, I want to thank God for the opportunity. I want to apologize. I am in my truck out in Texas, so I have to go in and out. I apologize for that. But I am in Texas. But I want to next. I want to invite my man, right man hand. You know what I'm saying? Jacob the Great in the building. What's going on, fam?
What's up, man? You know, another day on this side of the dirt, man. A chance and a choice. Another day to get it all the way right. You know, so we grateful, we thankful, man, and welcome to the 95 South podcast, my brother, and we grateful to have you on, man. So, without further ado, I'm gonna go and introduce my man, Kev Cooper, man, musician, singer, songwriter, male vocalist. Kev, what's up, man?
What's good, brother? How you doing?
Doing well, man. So, when people come to the forefront and want to know who is Kev Cooper, what type of answer should they get?
It's just a simple answer, man. Just a guy that really don't care about streams or fame. Just somebody that want to get some good music out there. That's it, man. I'm a preacher's son. You know what I mean? And I'm just a regular dude that just know how to do some music.
Okay. So let's talk about you growing up being a preacher's son, man, and growing up in the church, and man, the type of pressure that people say that they have being a PK kid, man. What was that like growing up?
It was some pressure. I mean, I had siblings, but it was some pressure. I mean, but I was a wild child. I felt that I was going to do what I wanted to do. You know, you had to walk a fine line. Honestly, you had to walk a fine line without trying to be an embarrassment to your family, and then still try to figure out what you want to do in life. You know what I'm saying? And when it got down to it, I was like, I had to make a choice. You know what I'm saying? And they say PKs is wild. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I was the definition of it. You know what I mean? All the way wild. Pedal all the way down, right into the gas ran out, or the wheels fell off, or the engine was just done. That's how I was. And
okay, well, it's interesting you say that, man. I tell people, although they preachers, they parents too, and so and most of the preachers that got kids and the pastors that got kids or evangelists, apostles that got kids, they hold their kids to a higher standard than a lot of people would.
yo,
And so with that being said, man, let's talk about their higher standard and the type of conversations that you and your pops had.
well, me and my mom and my step pop, we had, I'm gonna tell you straight up, like that the standard, like I was already wild when I moved to Atlantic City with my mom. And bruh, okay, we was expecting. Now, church was usually Sundays for some people, right? It was Monday, it was Wednesday, It was Friday. This was service. Now we're gonna talk about Bible study on Tuesday, and then on Thursday, young people meeting, and Saturday, usually it was some type of choir rehearsal or just something. And plus, we live in Atlantic City. We live like here go to church, here go a block, here go the house. So we was at walking distance. We was never late for church. You know what I'm saying? We was never like that's at one time, but we had the whole like a lot of times we couldn't say things that we wanted to say to people because we was the pastor kids. But when you found out you could say things to people and still be the pastor's kids, bruh, it was like a revelation. Just boom. Oh, I'm still a pastor's kid. I'm gonna say what I gotta say to you.
I can dig it. I can dig it, man. And so with that being said, man, how many siblings, do you have?
Now, blood siblings. We're gonna get to on my blood side. I have 6 sisters and 3 brothers.
Oh, so it's a lot of y'all.
Yeah, that's from my mother. My mother is only out of her came 3.
Okay.
This is from my biological dad.
Okay.
Yeah, Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Right.
He was a truck driver.
Okay.
He owned his own truck. He did what he needed to do. He left from Lakewood, New Jersey, and moved to Motown, Detroit, Michigan, and he was there for 40 years.
Okay. And so like, but growing in a household in Jersey, it was 4 of y'all.
Nah, just me and my brother in Jersey.
Just you and your brother.
Yeah, my brother Sean.
Okay. So is your brother into the music as well?
What? Yeah, listen, man. You think I could sing? My brother sings circles around me like that easily. Like he's the mix. My brother's a mix between Jamie Foxx and Tyrese.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Sean Cooper he's a beast. He's a monster.
Okay, so is he still active in the music?
Nah, he's a chef.
Oh, he's a chef.
Yo, he went to culinary school, graduated. I mean, plating food and all that good drizzle. he does it all. You know what I'm saying? And but he's been great as far as critiquing my music. He's brutally honest. When I say brutally honest, his head movement is like, nah, that ain't it. Like, if you really don't want the truth about your music, don't ask Sean.
Okay. And so you learning how to play instruments. How did it come about?
Sitting down watching. It was a need. Like my stepfather, Bishop Charles Lyles, he's a world-renowned organist. They are a musician. Like you can Google him. He's coming up as gospel artist, like New Jersey Mass Choir, all of that. And he sitting with him, I was always into the drums, but I sat down and I was watching his hands. Like I'm behind him playing the drums, and I'm watching his hands. And every year he would go to Europe and leave us without a musician. And some musicians came and went, but they wasn't, they didn't stay. You know what I'm saying? So I learned how to play just watching his fingers and watching his hands and watching where he placed. And I had access to the church, so I sit down and learn how to play.
Okay. So you learn how to play the keyboard. You learn how to play the drums, and you learn how to play the guitar.
A little bit on the guitar. My cousin taught me how to play some. He was relentless on teaching me how to play notes on the guitar.
Okay, so are we talking about a lead, rhythm, or bass?
Bass. Bass. He's more. I have cousins right now that can play bass, lead. Well, if you put us all together, it's like 4 or 5 bands of cousins in my family. First cousins, second cousins, third cousins. You can mix us all together. We don't even see each other for years. And you can mix us all together and we could just switch instruments while we're playing. I'm talking every key, every note, every instrument. Some of us play like it's 4 or 5 different organists, keyboardists, 4 or 5 different bass players, lead guitar players, saxophone players,
Hmm.
singers. I mean, it's countless singers, countless, just countless singers in the family.
Okay. So when you got a person that play guitar that can play lead, rhythm, and bass, that's a bad person.
That's a monster. And that's one of my cousins, Danielle Glenn.
Right.
We call him D Nice.
So finally, your stepfather would go to Europe, and you kind of finally stepped in. So at what age did you step in and start playing keys at the
Oh
church?
man, it was late. This was late in life. I'm not talking in my 20s. I'm talking about like 30. Like I was 30 when I sat down and started playing. Just sat down and started playing. Like
Okay.
it was always there though. Like it was always there. Like I know which note was wrong, and then I know which note was. It just I had to get it out of my head into my fingers.
Okay. And then after leaving Jersey, you moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, right?
Yeah, I moved. Now this is between. I've been back and forth like to Jersey. Every time I left Jersey, I went back to Jersey. Um, Countless times. You know what I'm saying? I always been trying to find somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? To be to find where I was. I just always believed it was out there. You know what I'm saying? And I left New Jersey for Charlotte. When the height of Jodeci, it was big. But I left for Charlotte and I went to Pastor Donald DeGrate church. I think it was Christ Gospel Church. It was full gospel, Christ Gospel Church. And I went there and I didn't know who they were. I didn't know like who they related to. I didn't know nothing about that. All I knew, it was a church around the corner from the house, and I was used to going to church on Sundays, and it wasn't too far from the house. It was the first church around the corner from the house where I lived, and that's where I went.
Now let's pause. Now, so this is very interesting, very intriguing. So Donald DeGrate,
Mm-hmm.
the father of Devonta and Mr Dalvin.
Yes, sir.
So you goes around the corner to a church. You're trying to find a new church home,
Mm-hmm.
and you happen to stumble across his church.
His church
Uh,
just
uh,
happened.
you, his church. So the story on that whole family is crazy, bro.
Nuts.
It's crazy how Davin and Devontae and Casey and JoJo are first cousins, and they're also first cousins with Fantasia and Anthony Hamilton.
Yeah.
And so I definitely know about Donald the Great because in the South Carolina, North Carolina area, they have what you call Christian retreats
Mm-hmm.
and Christian youth retreat, and so
Mm-hmm.
used to be before I realized that was Casey and JoJo's uncle and Mr. Dalvin and Devontae's dad. I just know him as an elder,
Elder. Yeah.
just like
Right.
one of the biggest bishop in the Carolinas.
Mm-hmm.
And so, with that being said, and upon me going to High Point, and one of my homeboys grew up in High Point and moved to South Carolina. When we seen Fantasia on American Idol, he said, "Oh, that's Tay." I said,
Mm.
He was like, "Yeah, man, she been rocking churches all through High Point since we was like 4 or 5 years old."
Yeah.
So that's what's interesting. So
Yeah.
now, with you finding out that Dr. Great was uh Devontae and Mr. Dalvin pops, man, and upon you How did you land the job of playing keys for him?
I went. All it was I went. I first started with playing the drums. I went to church, and it was big church, and I noticed it didn't have no windows. The church didn't have no windows, and it was the beginning of the mega ministries. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking like the church got no windows, but they had they were using tracks. They were using tracks, and the middle brother, Derek DeGrate, he was playing the bass, and so I went up and started playing the drums with Derek after church, and that's how it started. And the father, like they had a set track. Like, I didn't know how to play in a bunch of keys, and they had a set track, like sets that he used. So he used my drum. I used to play the drums for him. Then I called on a friend that was going to Johnson C. Smith College, Aaron Washington, and he in Atlantic City. He from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Oh man, one of the baddest musicians that you're gonna come up, and humblest dudes. So I called him to come over and play. So that's how it started. Aaron had to leave, and at the time I done picked up the song. So you know what I'm saying? I done picked up the song, so everything is I'm working with him. Now, I didn't know they was Davonta and Dalvin's family. I was just playing. The dad, we went in the office one day. I think he was paying me, and they forgot to sign something. So the dad said, just come in my office. I went in the office, and I'm seeing all these pictures of Devonta. I'm saying Casey, but these aren't like magazine pictures. These are personal family photos. And I'm seeing pictures with big collars on shirts and personal real pictures. And I'm like, I know these cats, but I'm just not placing it. And he was like, my sons? And I'm like, he's like, get us Mr. Dalvin from Jodeci. And I'm like, oh, and I'm to it, like the whole thing just shocked me, because I'm like, whoa. Out of all churches that I walked in, this church, I'm like, bruh, I'm like, hold up, I ain't going nowhere. And that's how it started.
Wow.
And you would think it was like destiny right then and there. And like, boom, everything is going like boom, boom.
But that's amazing that Dr. DeGrate, he was probably thinking like, oh man, this dude really don't know who we are.
Yeah.
And his humbling spirit. So let me keep him around, and he's a pretty good musician, and he ain't really asking me about my sons, and then he just wanna play keys at the church or play drums at the church. And so
by this time we didn't had a relationship, man. By the time I found out, he was on. Like by the time I found out, he was on.
And so with that being said, man, and you mentioned Derek, man, and I used to hear, people in Charlotte talk about Derek and what a great guitar player he was. They was like, man, if you ever came to Charlotte and just bumped to them singing at churches and stuff, so Tank tells a story, KC and the Haley Singers, when they was 13, 14, and they had the gospel album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, You Gotta Be Born Again.
Mm-hmm.
Born again, baptized and filled with the Holy Ghost. It was really popular in the South.
Mm-hmm.
So Tank tells a story because Tank is a church boy.
Mm-hmm.
And Tank used to come down from Maryland and Charlotte and come at some of the bigger choir anniversaries and sing, because Tank had a church group as well.
Wow.
And so that's the story between him and Jodeci. That's how they met before any of them was famous. And so what's so funny about Derek, man, is Derek has got hired by a lot of people in the industry, and he told nobody who he was for a very long time.
He humble.
People didn't even know that, that he was the brother of Devonta and Mr Dalvin. And
Mm-hmm.
what's so interesting, when they actually really found out, he just smiled about it. It was no
Mm-hmm.
word like, okay, then now you know. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So, but yeah, he
that's that's
he a
how
bad
I met him.
musician. He a bad musician though.
He the
For sure.
first person I ever seen play a 6-string bass and kill it, and like kill it, like kill his bass, walk the bass. Rance Allen came. Rance Allen came to the church there, and Derek was playing behind Rance. Now you know how Rance Allen sings. Derek
Right.
was playing behind Rance Allen on the bass, killing every riff and run on the bass. That's
That
Derek great.
that's hard to do, man, cause
That
Ransom
boy's a
go
monster.
high, go low, and he riffing and he running, and then he'll break it down and riff and run some more. So that's very hard to do, especially with a 6-string bass.
Boy killed it. Derek the Great is a monster on the most underrated bass players out there living right now. Derek the Great, underrated.
I can dig it. I can dig it. All right, man. I'm gonna pass the mic to my homie Icon, man. So he can chop it up with you as well.
Say
All
less.
right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of funny. Fun fact: my family, my uncle used to stay in the same neighborhood as Casey and JoJo's family back in
Chill.
years ago. Around the time when they first started, I want to say Jenny from Good Time, not Good Time, from Jefferson's stayed in that same neighborhood too. Um,
Wow.
that's kind of a fun fact because I remember my cousin telling me they went to a cookout over at the house in somebody's neighborhood, and KC, I think KC showed up and they was playing basketball. He was talking about how bad he was in basketball, but he was out there ball with him or whatever, messing around. But but anyway, so when basically when you was around the guys, did you see the special in them when you were around them?
Yo, when I was around them, like I was more around like Dalvin, Derek than any one of them. Like Devonta was more to his. He was himself, but he was laid back. Like he would tell you stuff, but he wouldn't tell you too much. You know what I mean? But I seen a genius. You know who is underrated too? Mr. Dalvin. Mr. Dalvin is a genius. Mr. Dalvin is a genius. Mr. I'm listening to some of his stuff, and I'm like, a lot of people didn't know that was Mr. Dalvin singing. Like, didn't know, like, because you hear Casey and JoJo all the time. Mr. Dalvin can sing. Like, I was shocked. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, no wonder they got you, bro. I'm like, that's you all in backgrounds. That's not just Casey and JoJo. That's Mr. Dalvin killing them backgrounds.
And what funny you say about Mr. Dalvin produced a lot of chords for the group H-Town.
Say less, bro. Dalvin is a genius, like underrated. And if you listen, he'll tell you, like, if you do this, this is all you need to do, and that's it. That's it.
So basically, being around those guys and working with them and seeing how they moved, what did you learn the most, or what did have carried with you over the years that you learned being around them at such a, I just want to say, younger time, probably in the beginning of their careers?
Well, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. When I got around them, I it was short, and I'm gonna tell you why. Like I was more around the dad and brother after. When Devonta came to me and asked me did I want to sing for him, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, let's get it. But I walked away from that. Like music wasn't there for me anymore. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. I came home. My great grandmother raised me. Like my mom didn't raise me until I got a little older. You know, and that wasn't like a fault or anything. My mom was trying to become my mom. You know what I'm saying? And my great grandmother took up the job of raising me. So, I left one night to go to a store named Wawa. I was gone for like 25, 30 minutes. I came back and my great grandmother was on the floor, passed away. I found her like that. Music didn't matter anymore. You understand? Like music, only thing I wanted was the street and whatever street had to offer. I wanted to run so far away from music. I didn't like. I was supposed to show up to remember Devonta's and nobody really remember this. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. Devonta's video shoot, Gin and Juice, his song Gin and Juice. Who I got the gin and juice. Remember that?
Yeah. Actually, I remember Danny Boy from Death Row talking about if there was no Devonta, there would be no gin and juice.
Boy, say that.
Devontae he gave Snoop that
Gin
song.
and Juice was Devonta's first, and that can't. You got it, bro. But Static Major, rest in peace. He was there, like everybody. Genuine, Timberland, like everybody that was in the camp was there. I was supposed to be there. I ain't caring nothing about it. Sisters, Missy Elliott, when she was with Sisters, the group Sisters, they was on top of the roof. You make me feel so bad. Right. I'm supposed to be in that video. I didn't care nothing about it. Like, I didn't care about music. Music did not. After I found that woman on that ground, I shut up. And when I say I shut up, bro, you couldn't get a verse. I would hobbly. It was a habit with my cousins on the street, and we're maybe drinking and smoking here, and then somebody put on the beat, and we throwing verses of rapping. You wasn't getting no singing out of me. You wasn't.
Yeah, because you was trying to encounter that pain. You was going through a painful time of your life, and you didn't really know that.
I didn't know how to deal with it.
Right.
I didn't know. I didn't. If I had to take counsel, if I could have done it over, I'd have went to counseling. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how to deal with. I just saw the woman who raised me since I was 2, and I was just talking to her a half an hour earlier, gone on the ground. That it messed me up, bro. It really messed me up. It took me down a rabbit hole that I really didn't believe that there was no way to come back from it. You understand? And lo and behold, when they say it's meant for you, and people, I don't care what they say about, I don't do music that's like for popular. I don't do music for people. Like if I make a beat for somebody, I make it for them, and that's for them. But I don't do music like when I put it out, I feel it and I put it out, bro. Like I don't do it because it's a trend. I don't do all that. I don't do that. But when I say music turned back on a few years ago, and it has not stopped. It's like it's been an urgent. All I hear is music, ideas, this, that, and the third. That's all I hear all day long, and I'm trying to figure out like, what is this? But I keep going because it's like I can't turn it off.
So was you and your great grandmother's relationship with, because did she like the one person you can confide in? Did she believe in you and what you were doing?
Bruh.
Was it all those?
My great grandmother spoiled me. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like all her son, my great grandmother's son, he could play every single instrument, including the cello, the xylophone, the harp. Willie Albert Cooper could play every single instrument. That's my great grandmother's son. You know, so she just took up the task of raising me and my brother. And then my brother moved with my mom, but I always stayed with my great grandmother. You know what I'm saying? And then 15, 14 is when I started going down to Atlantic City, and then I moved, did a school year, and then I came back to Lakewood and then finished that out. And then after she died, I figured I go see the world.
So when you do music, what sound, what inspires you the most? What type of sound, or what are you looking for? What do you get most out when you doing?
I'll hear something like I'll hear a sound like a chord, or I'll hear like a commercial, or my daughter will be playing something on YouTube, and I'll be like, "Yo, that was tight," and then I'll build, or I won't have no type of idea, and I remember something that I was humming a long time ago, and I'm like, "Let me try that." I don't know. I have words to a song, and then I'll try to build around that.
You know, it's crazy. That's what kind of make you a genius, because that's how the RZA was. RZA would take in.
Facts. I hear you. I just hear, honestly, I hear something that's like, it'll be like some back. Okay, you know how you hear. All right, I can put this out because not too many people gonna do it. You know how you hear EPMDs. I don't hear no rap in that. I hear a R&B monster. And I'm not gonna tell you how, because I might try to do something with it. You know what I mean? But I hear an R&B monster with chords. It's strings, harps, a rise, a build up with the doom 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 doom. It's when I say I just hear. I don't know. I hear something that I don't really listen to a lot of the music that's out right now, and that's not a knock on anything, because I just don't want to be influenced by a lot of people.
And you know, it's funny because I was listening to Young Jock on the other day, and he was talking about Andre 3000 new album, and he said if you really listen to some of that old stuff, he said all Andre really did was took the drums and some of the keyboard out, but the flute was always there. So the flute been the whole time, and he just took those sounds out and made what he made on this new album. But he said really to what Andre doing, he's not really doing anything different than he always done. And I ain't never thought about it like that until he said that. You know,
I heard, like, I had got feedback on both sides of the coin on Andre 3000's album. And a lot of people say, well, who are they to say something? They're the consumers. They're the people that listen to his album. And, you know, they have the right to say something about it. You know, it's the people opinions. Everybody has one. You know what I'm saying? But I listened to his album. I said, if he's the smartest man, one of the smart, there's so many, like, if people sampled this man's album, you know how they did James Brown? They sampled James Brown, and they still sampling James Brown till today.
Oh, yeah.
And James Brown estate is getting paid royalties from them samples. Could you imagine what they're going to do with Andre 3000's album? It's some stuff in there, bruh. Like, if you thought, like, people say, oh, how can you hear that? Okay, take the Boondocks. Listen to the Boondocks. Listen to just the flute. Or take the hip hop. Take the boom bap. Take the dent, all that out of the Boondocks, and just listen to the flute and tell me what you hear.
Well, I can tell you this right here. I can give you 3 places that this album is going to be played at. They're going to break it. They're going to break everything down on the album and teach it, educate people. It's going to get played at Cornell University.
Say that. It's
going to get played at NYU.
Say that.
And it's going to get played at the School of Juilliard.
Say that. My school, I go to school now. My school, Full Sail University, spoke on Andre 3000 album. my professor. So, yeah.
Gonna be in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
It's gonna be on, gonna be on elevators. It's gonna be everywhere.
Bruh, that elevator music is timeless. Man, you make it to the elevator, you made it. That's all I can say. You made it.
I'll say this: when they can play you at Target, Walmart, in the doctor's office, in the urgent cares,
elevator music,
in the hospital waiting room,
elevator music,
you made it, because that's when it becomes music for everybody to listen to.
You made it.
No matter what color, race, creed, whatever you are, it's easy. We call that easy listening music. And so, with that being said, man, I mean, Andre feel like he always been different now. Ever since Hey
Y'all was crazy. Yeah, that was nuts. That's still one of the top songs out, man. That was crazy. It was a whole movement. Hey Y'all was a movement. That's crazy.
So let me ask you this question. So you said earlier you about to open up for Rough Ends. You open up for Jay Holiday. How does it feel for the fact that years ago you walked away from the industry because of the music, because of your great grandmother, and to be here 25, 30 years later, whatever time it's been, and to be able to move around and open up for some of these artists that had their run and it was legendary back in the day?
Straight up, I'm gonna tell you, it feel like I'm living the dream, bro. There's nothing that can compare to this. Like, for me, I feel as though it's like, how when they say God has for you, it is for you, and regardless to what, it felt like it was two paths. It was like I would have got there like this, but I felt as though I took this way, and I'm still meeting it right there in that path. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? It was like I walked away from something, but I was meant for it. It was meant to be in my life.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't meant to be in my life, this would not be happening. There's no way in the world that I should be able to have this opportunity on my own. No management, no publicist, no nothing. When I say independent, it was me and my wife. My wife is if you want to say my management, my wife is my management. You understand? Other than brother, I should not be here. I on my own. I'm telling y'all, I should not be here. Right here, you should not be able to Google me. You should not be able to hear my sounds everywhere. I shouldn't even be talking to y'all.
Grace of God, man. Grace of God, man. Grace of God.
What place have you been? How far have you been? Have you been overseas? What's the biggest person you've opened up for?
Right now, I was just with Overton. What's his name? Overton from Living Single. I was just with them. I was just with Mayor Thompson, Rome, Christopher Williams. I talked to Christopher Williams. He critiques some of my music.
Oh, you said Rome?
Rome, I belong to you.
Rome was a bad boy.
Rome has a song. This is what I say about people, and they say, "Well, that's an old song." Rome has a song that he could sing for the rest of his life. He don't have to sing nothing else.
Yeah, I belong to you.
You tell me what you've done that you can sing that one song for the rest of your life and eat off that one song, and they still want you in concerts. Brother, over the summer in Danville, Rome, Christopher Williams, a few other Total. They were all in Danville together just now from Tajmas Entertainment. And Tajmas Entertainment with Wendell Johnson. They all was there in Danville. And
is that Danville, Virginia?
Danville, Virginia. And Rome killed that thing, bro. Ron walked out there and killed it. And I'm like,
Wendell Johnson, is that the one from The Wire?
no, not that Wendell Johnson. It's a lot of Wendell Johnson, not that one. But yeah, but you remember Rel from Rockefeller?
Yeah, I remember Rail from Rockefeller.
I gotta be straight, like, and this is one of he has been, you know how they say artist development?
Right.
That's who I've been in artist development with for the last year and a half. And
Rail from Rockefeller.
Rel from Rockefeller.
Original member of state property. Oh yeah.
Yeah, original member of state property, original member of Rockefeller. Rel, he has I get choked up sometimes because sometimes when people like that believe in you, it's a push that you can't even get, like, and like Cool Kim. I worked with Cool Kim, you know what I mean, from UMC's, had #1 album, single on Billboard. But Rel has pushed me in my voice and my potential to limits that it's unlimitless. It's like I thought that.
Oh, I'm sorry, you said UMC. Hold on, because I'm trying to picture UMC. That's the Blue Cheese Group, right?
Yeah, Blue Cheese. Listen,
people don't know about these records.
No, they don't. I have some infallible. I have a few cuts with Q Kim, but I have some some information from Cool Kim that is priceless, man. Like when I say I was green starting out and got taken advantage of by a few people. Them, like Cool Kim was a brother that didn't, you know what I mean? He was a cool brother. He on the go. You know what I mean? He got that rail, but that rail, let me tell you about that rail, man. That when you have somebody that really like that believes in you, man, it ain't somebody that already made it and tell you all you need is breathing and all you need. Nah, you can't stop. Nope. Waking you up, talking about, yo, hit this riff for me. Hit this riff for me real quick. Hit this run for me. Like waking you up out your sleep because you're in artist development. Like he helped me. They say artist development was dead, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me.
Important that we get back to that. Me and Jacob talk about that all the time. Is that the industry needs that real bad, because you get too many artists that come out and then they come out in the first year, or they don't know how to interview, they don't know public, they don't know how to carry themselves, you know what I'm saying, and then they end up getting in trouble and mess up their career before they even get started because of artist development. Because it's not just about going on stage, it's not just about going in the studio, it's about carrying yourself in life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, this last one, this last song that I just put out, Step With Me Tonight. That I'm gonna tell you, history repeats itself. I just lost my grandmother in December, right? And I was like, wow, I'm looking at history, you know what I'm saying? This time, instead of running from it, though, I ran to that music. Like, I think this is the only thing. It kept me so balanced after I lost my grandmother last year. It kept me balanced. Like my grandmother was closer to me than my great grandmother. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother took some secrets, some things that I had on my shoulders. I had to get it out to somebody. And I talked to her, and she took that to her with her great. I never heard of nothing I told her ever again. I never heard it again. But I ran to the music this time. I ran to the music. Like I cried it out, but then I put so much focus into my songs, into my getting on this mic and the pain. Like I have some songs with some pain in it. I don't think I'm gonna release it for a while, but I have some songs with some pain in it. You know what I mean? But this Step With Me Tonight, that was one of them.
You also had a song that you released in the summertime of December 23. Can you chime in about that?
Yeah, Be With You. That was a dope one. I'm honestly I'm pulling that one back. I'm not gonna say who, I can't say who, but I'm approached by somebody. I'm still have credit, but I'm giving that song to somebody who can take that song somewhere else, and then my name can be somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that they're gonna help get you a publishing deal,
Yeah,
songwriting
yeah,
deal. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I.
yeah.
That's what I'm like. I just don't want. I love being an artist. I love being a producer. I want more. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to leave something from my family. I want to leave something here that people gonna remember me by. You know what I'm saying? That's why I did this. I have a daughter that's 7 years old, bro. She just turned 7, the third, and I don't want her to forget me. You know what I'm saying? I want her to remember me. I want her to be like, yo, that's my dad. You know what I'm saying? My dad did all this for me and left me something.
But you know, it's
Right.
funny you say that because years ago, I was when I used to manage artists. It was this group out in Atlanta, and one of the guys he looked just like Ti, and it was like 3 or 4 members that had a girl in the group. They were sort of like the Black Eyed Peas a little bit, the way they was kind of constructed, and they had this song that was real hot. I think it was called Superstar or something of that nature. But the thing about the song was so hot that when I took it, got some people that could get them a publishing deal for it or get them a situation, Ti, and I think it was CeeLo, was interested in buying this song. And they didn't want to sing, they didn't want to give this song up because they felt like this is going to be their big hit, and they wanted to be the one to perform it or whatever. So when you say that about giving up a song, these songs, and have publishing and being able to do other stuff with it, just talk about the importance of not always feeling like you got to hold on to everything.
I listen to me. Some people think it's taking the L. You taking the L, and somebody's taking your song, and then they do something with it, and they blow up. Listen here. If they want to step with me tonight, that's gone. I'll pull it back and give it to them. You understand? I, there's a bigger picture here. You know what I'm saying? And for me to get where I need to go, I have so many songs in me. I'm not worried about one song. I'm not worried about 2 songs. If it's not meant for me to be an artist, I will be an established writer. You understand? If I'm not an established writer, I'm gonna be an established producer. If I'm not established producer, I'll be established publicist. I'm gonna be established something off of that song. You know what I'm saying? If people, if you thinking like they messed up, they messed up. They messed up. I'm not gonna do that. And a lot of artists think that a lot of people want to steal their songs. Let me tell you something. Rel, this is the part of artist development that Rel talked to me about. Rel gave up a song. He gave up a song that could have made Rel, but this song is feeding Rel now. He gave up Here I Stand. You know who sings that, right? Usher. Usher. You look on the writer's cred, Jarrell Gaddis is writer on that song. And he could have kept that song, but who do you think made that song bigger?
Usher.
Usher or Rel? You understand? So if somebody wants my song that's already established and I can eat off of 30% my publishing, is you crazy? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna write a few more songs and I'm gonna keep on doing that thing because it's big. Music is just it's big.
And you know, Kev, I tell artists all the time, y'all want to be on the front, on the front, in front and center, and be on the main stage, man. It ain't about the main stage.
I'll
For
be on the back.
every for every artist you got that's dropping music on Spotify, you don't have no songwriters, man. Like a label will give a publishing deal out right now before they give out a record deal.
Yes, they will.
Because they looking for songwriters. Because most of these artists can't write, bro.
No, they can't. They can't.
They can't write. They can sing, they can dance, they can write something, but they can't write something that people will feel. Like, man, it's if you look like when you used to look on before they took the compact disc away, man. When Chris Brown first came out, man, he had so many writers on his album, bro. I was like, as big as Chris Brown is now, I know those writers are eating, bro.
Eating. I was. It's like I go to Full Sail University right now, and I'm in cinematography. I graduated with a bachelor's with audio production. I went back. I'm in. Y'all only people. Well, everybody know it now. I'm in Full Sail right now with cinematography, writing stories. What is the story that you want to tell when you're writing a song? That's all that I'm doing. What's the story? Like, I don't know.
What did I tell you yesterday on the phone, real? I said if you can write a song, you can write a TV series, a web series, a movie script. And this morning when we was talking, I said to you that with the pain and losing your grandmother and being connected with the Haley family and the Great family and you know, opening up for Rome and Jay Holiday and mingling with Rail and stuff. So it's no, and I say a TV series called Music and Me. I told you that this morning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because because the journey of music, you know, you had to endure so much pain while you was trying to get on top until you couldn't even think about singing those songs. But the passion and the gift that God set inside you brought you back to music and me.
Boy, if you want to talk about some stuff, like, let me tell you something. There's some stuff I'm telling you. If pain, you want get it out the mud, man. I was under the stuff that was under the gutter. That I'm telling you, God had to reach his whole hand down there, but God had to put me down there. That's the part that people don't understand. Like, he put me, I was so far down there that I'm thinking that I couldn't find a light. I couldn't see a light. I went so far left from what I know and left and drugs, violence. Listen, man. I'm not saying I'm a tough guy. I'm just saying there's certain things I'm just not gonna let go. And thank God for change.
Yeah, you just telling your
God
story so you can inspire somebody else.
Yeah, bro. Like violence, shootings, drugs, getting high, drug parties, all type. Listen, man. I was down a rabbit hole and trying to numb the pain because all I kept seeing was that woman's face that you know what I mean? And then next thing you know, I got a low-key habit. I'm like, what? Nah. And then I'm enjoying life like that. Down a rabbit hole, trying to fight, trying to struggle, trying to get up, trying to do this, trying to do that, bruh. Let me tell you something, man. When it's meant for you, can't nothing stop you from getting it, not even you. When I say enough was enough, when I was able, I couldn't even, when you say on your knees, I live on your knees, man. I was living on my stomach. I was on my face. I couldn't get up. You understand? I couldn't even do a push-up in push-up position, but couldn't push up. But I'm telling you, now when you able to stand up and get all that garbage off of you, and you standing up, and you like, what? I never felt this strong. I haven't felt this strong in a long time. Like, and I'm talking for the last going on a decade. I've been feeling strong, bro. Like, stronger than ever, like more determined than ever. I don't know. What's that word? No, I can't. What's that word? I don't understand that phrase. They're like, I'm the truth of you can do it. And it don't matter what age it is, as long as you want to do it. I'm not looking for other people's fans. I'm not trying to piggyback off other people's fans, man. I'm building a fan base of my own. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I tell every artist. Stop trying to piggyback off of somebody else's fan. Stop trying to steal somebody else's fans. Stop trying to look for somebody else to put you in the spotlight. Build your own. And then I promise you, you will give them no choice but to respect you and have to call on you. You ain't got to knock on nobody's door. They come knock on your door. You ain't got to ask no record label to sign you. They going to come now. You going to give them something that they going to have no choice but to come find you. And then what you going to do? Like, what you going to do when they come? Because they going to come. I don't want no $25,000. I ain't no life-changing money. I'm good. That's me. That ain't no life-changing. I can sell my car and get that. Like, for real. I don't need that. That's not life-changing. If you're going to sign me, if you want to sign me. But don't if you want to give me a deal, give me a deal. But don't give me this slave deal because I could do that by myself.
Right.
That's what I tell. I've met with a few record executives. I've met with a few people. I've walked from a few people. I'm like, tell me something that you could do for me that I can't do for myself. Because if you're telling me everything that I could do for myself, what I need you for? What you gonna give it to me right now? No, all I gotta do is wait. All I gotta do is wait for 7 months on my own, a year on my own. No, I'm good. And be locked in with you for 3 years? No, 4 years. I'm good.
Right.
Nah, I know how to say no. That's the one thing that I know how to do is say no. Because I know, and my no's, a lot of people say, well, what if you say no to the wrong? I'm not gonna say no to the wrong because what's for me is for me. Like what's for me is for me. I'm not out here chasing a bag, bro. You know, a lot of people chase a lot of musicians is chasing the bag, and that's where they go wrong at, man. I chase the music. I love the feeling. I love the feeling. I love to see the faces of people when I drop a song, or if I sing a song, or if I do something musically, and they're like, "Yo, I didn't even know," or "Yo, I knew you had that in you," or "Man," when you hear people that say to you, I remember when they said, my dad, he died. He died like, dang, a lot of people dying. My dad that died last year, 2 years ago. And I said, I wanted to make some people proud in my life before they left or before I left. And my dad, I remember, was a time in my life, my dad was like, you ain't shit and you ain't gonna be shit. You understand? But my dad was raw. Sidney Eugene Nickens was raw, and that's what you needed. But a few years ago, man, my dad came out of his mouth and was like, yo, I'm proud of you. I said, what? And like, you know, usually with Gene, you got to tell him, I love you first before Gene says say something like that. And my dad came out of his face and was like, you know, I'm proud of you, son. And I'm like, wow, that means a lot. And then you hear people that knowing how messed up you was before in your life, and they like, I'm proud of you. I always know you had it in you. That right there is bigger than me than a lot of stuff, a lot of awards that I'm going to win. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than me. It's bigger. That's bigger than me. It's priceless because I can't put that on the wall. I can't put that on the shelf. I can't take that and shine that up and put that on the shelf. That's priceless for people to say that knowing how fucked up, messed up my life was at one time, have met how I messed up and walked away and messed up and went down a rabbit hole, and I came back and they say, yo, I'm proud of you. That you don't understand. And that's the energy, that's the battery that's in my back that keeps me going. That I'm proud of you. I got church folk, bona fide church folk. I'm talking church folk. They walk up on you, they carry oil in their pocketbook, walk up on you in the daggone supermarket and put right on Walmart and put oil in their hand and start playing for you in the middle of Walmart. Church folk talking about, I like your music. Keep it up. Keep going. You keep going. You made a choice. You keep going. I see. Now, before they say I didn't see it before. Now I see what God's doing for you. Keep it up. They tell me, a lot of people telling me they was judging me before. Judging, saying, right. I don't know why you did that. Why you thought of this? Why you did that? Now you got the same folk talking about, wow, talking about, yo, I'm proud of you. You keep up that work. What you, I can see you ain't forgot about God, and I can see God's hand on you. I'm just walking a different path.
Yeah, I can dig it. So, man, before we get out of here, pass by the Icon, and then I want you to tell people where they can find you at. Icon?
Yeah, brother, I just want to appreciate you for coming on here, giving us your time. I know you're real busy. And I just want to know, first, you gave us a great story, your story, inspirational story. And I just want to thank you for giving us your time this evening. So tell everybody where they can find you or where they can follow you on.
Babe, look, everything is at I am Kev Cooper. At I am right there. Kev, like Kevin, Kev Cooper. At I am Kev Cooper. That's Instagram. That's TikTok. Usually on Facebook is my personal people that I really, you know what I mean, like Jacob. Now people that I'm personal, like really, really personal with. I answer my Instagram. I answer just, you know, you can follow me there. And if you're in the area of Waldorf, Maryland on tomorrow night, I'm opening up for Rough Ends, which is a pre-Valentine's Day show with comedy and R&B. Grown folk, grown folk, man.
Rough Ends, someone to love. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Before we get out of here, shout out to Village Global Network tonight chiming in with us. That's our partners. 181 countries, over 10 radio stations. So this will be seen all over the world, all over the globe. We be heard, so people will hear your story. Shout out to She-Rail Radio, our Atlanta affiliate, our T-Dub Entertainment out in Mississippi.
That's She-Rail.
Yeah, we got a lot of big stuff coming up. We got apps, we got websites, we got a lot of we got a Roku channel situation coming up. That we are more than likely to put this interview on. So we got a lot of big things coming on. They look small, but we move like giants out here. Right. And so, and God put us in a blessed situation where we can continue to grow and build this thing to a bigger and bigger platform. But, I said, I appreciate you for coming on tonight.
Nah, thank y'all for having me, man.
Down to Atlanta or somewhere close by in the South, so we can come out there and support you, brother.
Bro, you already know it's big works. They trying to work it a little South little joint for me for this, I guess, spring and summertime. They're trying to work it together and have this song on the radio. Like it's on the radio out here on 97.7. The Vibe is on. It's Lord say I'm trying to get. We're gonna have something on spot. What is it called? Sirius XM. So it's in the work that this song is on the air, and I just thank God for all his blessings, man.
All right, man. We appreciate you, bro.
Facts. I appreciate you too, man.
All right, man.
Bet. Thank you.
We got the good vibe, got the 1942 pouring in my cup.